श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णा प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय धोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणीन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा। देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः। Welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita. We have just started the study of the 15th chapter of the Gita. As we study deeper and deeper this chapter, new truths are revealed. New understanding comes to us. This is one beauty of the Bhagavad Gita scripture. You may read just the meaning of the verses and think you have understood everything. But that is not really so. It reveals its meaning only when you go deeper and deeper into it. Swami Turiyananda was one of the monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. He used to say that he would meditate on some verses of the Bhagavad Gita. Say for one verse he would keep on meditating for a month. and then new truths will reveal to him. Similarly, we did study the first verse of the Gita last week, but still, once I went back pondering over this, more thoughts came to my mind. This chapter is known as Purusha Uttama Yoga. Purusha Uttama Yoga. What is Purusha? According to one of the 6 systems of philosophy of Vedanta, it is called Sankhya system. There was a great sage called Kapila, and he created this system of philosophy, a very scientific way of explaining what the universe is. He did not want to posit about God per se, even though there are 2 divisions in this Sankhya. One is Seshvara Sankhya, the other is Nirishvara Sankhya. It means those who accept God and those who do not accept God. Just like in scientists, among scientists, we have those who accept the existence of God, and then there are those who do not accept the existence of God. Similarly, Sankhya posits 2 absolute entities. One is called as Purusha and the other is called as Prakriti. They are absolute. So this is a dual philosophy, whereas Advaita is a singular philosophy wherein it takes only Brahman as existent. You, me, all are Brahman, the divine. But if you want to explain why I feel different from you, why there is so much diversity, then this Sankhya comes to our help. So it says that Purusha is inert, does not do anything at all, is just looking towards Prakriti, that is nature, and the Prakriti keeps on creating, preserving, destroying, again creating, preserving and destroying. This keeps on, goes on in cycles again and again. So, Purusha means the absolute being. Absolute being does not do anything, does not create anything, just looks towards Prakriti, and then Prakriti starts expanding this universe, creating this universe. But the Vedantic meaning is slightly different. Puri Shayanad or Puri Shete iti Purusha. Pura and Isha, these two, or Pura and Isha, these two words together makes Purusha. Pura means a town or a city. Where do we live? We all live in a town, it may be a village also, or a city. We all need a place to live. And this body itself is a city. It has got 9 gates. Navadware Pure Dehi. 9 gates through which we interact with the external world. So this Pura, one who lives within or beyond the 9 gates, is known as Purusha, who is the divine or the Atman. And as such, we all are Purushas. Interestingly, there is a mythological story or mythological explanation. In the beginning, when it was decided that the universe should be created, or it is in the beginning, it was never created, it is never, it goes back according to Hinduism, that's a different thing. So, according to that, Nara and Narayana, these two rishis, God himself divided into two. One as Nara and the other as Narayana. These two decided, let us go and do tapas. Tapas means meditation and practice austerities. So the story goes that they both went and started meditating for thousands of years at the place called Badrinath. Today's in the Himalayas we have a holy place called Badrinath, and there they both of them meditated for thousands of years. And then Narayana told Nara, or his counterpart, said, you go and live in the world, spread yourself. And Nara said, well, how can I live without you? Said Narayana says, no, I will live within you as well as outside of you. I will live within you as well as outside of you. So don't worry. I will be in you, you will be in me. So that's how the whole universe was created and we human beings came into existence. Nara and Narayana. So we are all Naras, according to Sanskrit. Human beings are known as Naras. So we are all Naras, in whom this Narayana, the divine, is hidden. It's just hiding over there. Our duty in life is to somehow find where he is, identify him, and then bring him out, or feel the presence of the divine. And he says Purusha, that Purusha is that divine being. And Uttama, Uttama means superior. He is the superior being. Superior means inferior, because we have got, the Nara has got entangled himself or herself with the universe, with the body-mind complex. But then this Nara has to raise himself and demystify himself, declutter himself, and then raise to that level. So Uttama, then one becomes the greater one. That is why we have a beautiful imagery in one of the Upanishads. Upanishads are part of the Vedas. The knowledge portion of the Vedas are called the Upanishads. And so in one of the Upanishads, called Mundaka Upanishad, we find this beautiful imagery of two birds. Same color, same weight, same category. They both are sitting on the tree. One on the lower branch and another on the topmost branch. And the one that is below is eating some sweet fruits, and his face is very happy. Again, at times it bites into a sour fruit and then makes faces, then bites into a bitter fruit, feels very disgusted. So like this, it keeps on eating good fruits as well as the bad fruits. So experiencing joy and misery all very quickly. The status of us all is like this. One moment we are happy, the next moment we are unhappy. But yet we are all searching for that happiness. Why? Because that happiness is within ourselves. We have looked for it everywhere else. We have tried to look for it in the fruits, but it is not really in the fruits. Then it raises its head and then sees up on the tree, the last branch of the tree, is this very calm, serene bird, just like herself, sitting there and not at all bothered by anything at all, not at all bothered by the fruits, just waiting there, that's all, serenely seated over there. So this bird starts thinking, how is it that this same bird as myself is not at all affected by the happiness and misery? Why is it that I am getting affected by this happiness and misery? It starts thinking. That is called as jignasa or seeking. If that jignasa, that seeking develops in our mind, then we will make an effort to find out where that real source of happiness is, where that real source of aloofness comes. So, of course, later it realizes, the story goes, later it realizes that it is itself, there was probably a mirror on top, and its own reflection, when it is just looking at the bird's reflection is looking at it, and it is calm and quiet. So with this we enter into the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and the meeting point of this lower and the higher bird is the divine. That is, if I can know the divine, if I can love the divine as my soul itself, as my very being itself, then I will become one with that highest one. So this is called as yoga. Purusha Uttama. Uttama means the superior. Yoga, that is the yoga. Shankaracharya, commenting upon this chapter, says that this chapter is the essence of the Vedas. Sarvopi Vedarthaha, he says that this is the essence of the Vedas. And the Mahabharata, you all know that there is this epic called the Mahabharata, and its essence is the Gita. The 18th canto comes this chapter, this Bhagavad Gita, which contains again 18 chapters. And the Gita's Sara, the essence of the Gita, is in this 15th chapter. So therefore, when one gets this correct, when one understands this better, then one becomes, what happens? Sri Krishna says later, Kritakrityasya Bharata. One will become fulfilled, totally fulfilled. Of course, all of us want to be fulfilled. Every one of us, we want, when we eat food, when we engage into any kind of activity which gives us joy, what we need is fulfillment. We want to be filled. Our heart needs to be full to the brim. And if it is not full, we will again start searching for it. So the subject matter of this chapter is threefold. It informs us about the three aspects that the whole universe is made of. The first is called as Jada Prakriti, inert matter. Matter is inert. And then there is what is called as Jiva, the embodied soul. We are all Jivas, we are all embodied soul. We feel that we are beings and that we possess a body. Nobody says I body. We all say my body. Don't say I body. My body, that is what it is. So that means there is somebody within me, something within me which owns this body. This is called as the jiva. And the third point that we note is that there is what is called as Ishvara, or the ruler of both of this. But that is Jada, that is inert matter, that is the universe that we see outside, and the one that is within me, the inner controller, Antarayamin, that means the inner controller. So if we need to understand one, then we need to understand all the rest also. All these are interconnected. The inert universe, or the inert matter, then the jiva, that is the individual soul, as well as Ishvara, the divine. So in order to know what this universe is outside, we need to know its very cause or its very root. In the scriptures, we find this description: Brahmande Pindandam, Pindande Brahmandam. Brahmande Pindandam. Pinda means the subtle one, or the very essence. I don't know, most of you must have seen this banyan tree. If you have seen the seeds of the banyan tree, you would be surprised. It is so tiny, so small. Almost as small as a mustard seed, probably even smaller than a mustard seed. It is so small, and yet out of it comes out a huge tree. We have these banyan trees, which in Calcutta, I think we have a banyan tree which spreads around 1 kilometer radius. Such huge banyan tree. So that is to say, in that tiny seed is hidden such a large tree. Similarly, in the microcosm is hidden the whole of the macrocosm. We are all now familiar with micros and macros, especially with the computer science. So micros, within the micro, all the macros are hidden. So if you have to understand the macro, I need to understand the micro as well. Similarly, if I want to know the root, I also want to know what the universe is. It is called as Anyonya Bhava or Avina Bhava. It means it is interconnected to each other. The universe is in me and I am in the universe. It's a very profound statement of the Vedas. Swami Vivekananda was traveling in India, and he was in those days an unknown wandering monk. And as he was traveling, he was going on foot, walking in the Himalayas. As he went towards the town called Almora, there he sat under a tree. The tree still is preserved or exists, or its offspring exists. And there, Swami Vivekananda says, I had an extraordinary experience. He writes to his brother disciple, I had an extraordinary experience. I found that the macrocosm is hidden in the microcosm, and both the microcosm and the macrocosm are built on the same structure. The structure is the same. The essence is the same. The micro and the macro is the same. So this first verse that we took up the other day, it occurs in the Vedas, in the Upanishads. And Sri Krishna says here, Urdhvamulam adhashakam ashvattam prahuhu. Prahuhu means they say. Who says it? That is, the Vedas say it. See, Sri Krishna, even though he was divine himself, does not say that all of these, the knowledge that I am giving you is coming from me. He says, this has been said by the scriptures. This is the very essence of Indian culture. That is, to give importance to the parampara, that means the stream of knowledge that comes from one to the other, from the divine down to the human gurus. So in the Bhagavad Gita itself, Sri Krishna says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastitau Jnatva Shastra Vidham Noktam Karma Kartum Iharasi. If you want to perform your activities in life, if you want to live a life with fulfillment, where should you find a manual for life? See, we have manual for all our machinery and everything. Nowadays, they don't print manuals, we get it from the internet mostly. So in those days, there was this fund of knowledge. All the manuals were written, or manuals were taught to people. By whom? By the Shastras or the scriptures. And the Vedas are those scriptures. So Sri Krishna says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante. Whenever you have any doubt, for example, some Rishi says something, or some divine incarnation, some things, another incarnation may say the opposite, exactly opposite of that. So how would I reconcile them? Therefore he says, Shastram Pramanante. Go to the root, go to the scriptures, the original scriptures, the Vedas, and there you will find answers. There is no contradiction over there. So, this idea of parampara, that means that which comes from our past generation, that must be respected. In today's world, we get some education, so to say, with some certificates and all that, and think that we are better than our parents. We are better than our grandparents. No, that is not at all true. No. Their knowledge has come from generations to generations. That's why we need to respect the elders, respect the knowledge that comes. Yes, you do research on those things, and if you find that something is not agreeable, then bring it out and then argue and then establish that. That's perfectly understandable and it is accepted also. But to reject them outright is foolishness. That I can only say that much. So here Sri Krishna himself says, Prahuhu, this has been said before. Where is it said? In one of the Upanishads called the Katha Upanishad, which the Lord of Death, Yama, is teaching to the young Nachiketa. Young Nachiketa goes to the Lord of Yama, his father says, I give you in great rage and fit of anger. He says to him, you go to hell, as we say. There, he said, you go to Lord Yama. So he goes, waits there for 3 nights and 3 days outside the gates of Yama to learn about what life is. And then Yama welcomes him, first tests him by making him stand outside for 3 days, and then afterwards he allows him to come in and gives him all the honor or respect. And then he starts talking to him, and he gives this upadesha or this teaching, urdhvamulo avakshakha eshoshvattas sanatanaha tadeva shukram tad brahma tadeva amritam uchyate tasmil lokashrithas sarve tadunatyeti kaschana etad vaitad. That's what the scripture says over there. So it has similar meaning to what Sri Krishna gives out over here. So this, he says, is the tree of knowledge. He talks about this tree of knowledge. This tree of knowledge has both good and evil. Knowledge is two-sided. See, use that, for example, fire is two-sided. It gives us warmth and comfort, and it can also burn our hand if we misuse fire. Similarly, any tool, the tool will help you to perform all of your actions and repair and all that. But if you misuse or if you use it wrongly, then that tool will become a matter of concern to us, a worry to us. So this tree of the universe is twofold. It means it gives you knowledge about this world, and it also gives you knowledge about the divine. We are all enclosed or encompassed in this tree of knowledge, just as the birds and other animals, they take shelter under a tree. Similarly, we all take shelter under this huge tree of the divine. We should use whatever is essential for us and reject what is not required to us. And he calls this tree as Ashwatha. That means people tree or the Bodhi tree, which people are more familiar with, the Buddha, under which he sat and performed his austerities and attained to Nirvana. So there is this etymological meaning of this term Ashwatha. So I will take it up. Please bear with me, because each of them has got its significant meaning. This tree called Ashwatha, the leaves of this Ashwatha tree is always moving. If you have seen the Ashwatha tree, the people tree, it's always moving. They are not heavy, extremely light, feather light as they call it, and very thin. And the slightest breeze makes it move. Its slightest breeze makes it move. But one thing you will see in Ashwatha tree is that even though it moves, the ruffling does not make much noise or sound. It's constantly moving. With the little breeze, it just keeps on moving, but it does not make any significant sound. For that, of course, there is a mythological story. There was a sage, a rishi called Vijayadhwaja, and he wanted to go and meditate under this peepal tree, and he sat meditating, and his meditation became deeper and deeper. Just at that time, there was the leaves of the tree began to ruffle and make a lot of ruffling noise. And so he became a bit annoyed with it and then held his hand and said, stop ruffling, stop ruffling. So this is just a story. And so the Ashwatha, the leaves stopped making noise. It's just a matter of making it a little bit lighter. So even when everything is still, these people, leaves, they keep on moving. That is one meaning. Second meaning is that among all inert objects, Ashwatha is considered to be of Ashu Vahati. Ashu means quickly. It moves quickly. Keeps on moving very quickly. It never stops. So that is the second meaning. The third is Ashva. Ashva means horse. Ashva, the horse, if you have seen a horse, you will see that it may be standing, but yet either the tail or the head is always moving. Ashuvahati, that is another, the meaning, etymological meaning of a horse or Ashva is Ashuvahati. It keeps on moving constantly. And the fourth meaning is Ashvo Namakaha Ishvaraha. The Lord, the Divine Being, is known as Ashva. Why? Ashu. That means faster. He comes to us very fast. When we give up all other concerns and lift our hands and say, you are the only Savior, then Ashuvati, he comes running. See, there was a great Kannada saint, and he sang a beautiful song. There he says, Malagi Paramadarati Padalu Kulitu Keluva. If you lie down and with great love you sing to the Lord will come next to you, sit. He will be sitting and you will be lying and he will be listening to you. Kulitu Padalu Niluva. If you sit down straight and then you chant the name of the Lord, that means remember the Lord, he will stand up in reverence. See, you are chanting my name, you are taking my name. Nintare Naliva. If you stand up and then take the name of the Lord, clapping your hands, he will dance to your claps. Nalidare Oliva Nimagenda. If you start dancing, that means forgetting yourself. When you engage in a very deep dance or in a trance state, then you get absorbed in the divine. Nalidare Oliva Nimagenda. So Lord is very eager to come, like a sprinter. He is just waiting with 1 foot forward. He just wants to come to you, but he wants you to call upon him. So that's why he is called as Ashvo Nama Ishvaraha. And Sri Krishna also says he is Ashu, Ashutosha. We call Shiva, Lord Shiva is Ashutosha. Tosha means one who is very happy. Ashu, very fast. He gets very happy very fast. Because if you call upon him, he is very quick to come. Ashutosha. And then Sri Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, I do not remain actionless even for a moment. Even for a moment I do not remain actionless. I am always constantly with you, doing all the things that you are doing. And another meaning is that God is the only constant. Shvatha. Shvatha means constant. He is the only constant in our life. Rabindranath Tagore sang a song, Tomare Koriyachi Jibonero Dhruvo Tara. I have made you the pole star. In olden days, before the compass was created, the guiding principle of all seafarers was the pole star, the northern star that you see. So, if they can see the pole star, they know. Looking at the pole star, they will trace their movement or they trace their journey. So God must be our constant in our life. And another meaning, you can keep on talking about it for a longer period of time. Na shvaha sthaha, that is the other one. Na shvaha sthaha. Shvaha means tomorrow. Staha, it won't be there tomorrow. That means the moment you know that everything is divine, the world will not exist to you. God alone will exist. The world will cease to exist as we feel right now. We feel it is a mixture of both good and evil and so on and so forth. But then once we realize that God alone exists, then the universe will give way to you. That is called as na shva staha. Once the realization of the divine comes, tomorrow will not be there. You will be always in the present. Urdhva mulaha adhashakam ashvattam prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya paranani. Urdhva mula, again I will go back again to this one term. Urdhva mula. Mula means root. See, the root has three components, you can say. The first is the Mother Earth, Bhudevi. The Mother Earth is the first one. Without her, there cannot be the earth also, Bhudevi. According to Vaishnavism, Vishnu has two wives, Bhudevi and Sri Devi. Mother Earth as well as the mother of wealth. So first is Bhudevi. There is the Mother Earth, who is the very essence of the earth. And then there is Bhu, the earth itself, which is the very basis of all roots. And then within the roots there is something which is the basis of all the tree, which is the essence of all the tree. That is the Chaitanya, the spirit which grows as the tree. So in I think I will skip that. In the Rudra Prashna there is a verse comes, Urdhva Pavitro Ajini Vasvamritamasmi. So I will skip that. So this Mother Earth sustains all creation, and the roots sustain all the trees, And the essence of the tree, it sustains the very life that we are familiar with. Just as the Mother Earth wears all the beings, the divine wears the whole universe. Just imagine what a wonderful imagination our sages had. See, this whole universe is nothing but a dress that the Lord wears. Different types of dresses we have, but it is a dress that the divine wears. And this nature is like this earth with roots, which has is like this tree with its roots. Trigunatmika Maya, that means Sattva, Rajas and Tamas are the roots. We all come from them. And then Chanda Urdhva Moolam Adhaha Shakham. Then there is the trunk of the tree. And the trunk of the tree is known as the Chaturmukha Brahma, or the creator Brahma. The top is Brahman, or the divine, very divine being. Then comes the trunk, which is the Chaturmukha Brahma, from whom expands the universe. And the main branches are that which support the trunk. See, they are like the hands which support the body. So in Vaishnavism, Sri Vaishnavism, Ramanuja Sri Vaishnavism, two personalities, Garuda and Shesha. Garuda is, what's the bird in English? Garuda is eagle? It's not eagle. Yeah. Huh? Kite. Yeah, you can say kite. Correct. Brahmi kite. Correct. Brahmi kite. So Garuda and then Shesha. Shesha means the serpent. These two, they sustain the earth, as it were, according to Sri Vaishnavism, and they are the two sides of Lord Vishnu. They are Garuda and the Shesha. They both are the vehicles of Lord Vishnu. So as the tree keeps on spreading, many branches and sub-branches come, and what we call as the aerial roots develop. And they keep on developing. All the forces of nature, which are given the name of gods, they all the protecting beings who protect the universe, they are always spread everywhere, and they protect the whole universe. And then comes the rishis, and then comes the munis and other illuminated beings or enlightened beings, and then comes other beings as well as the humans. So this is a very dynamic tree. This keeps on moving, it keeps on working, it keeps on evolving all the time. Just as a tree, this peepal tree or the bow tree, it keeps on expanding. As I told you in the beginning, there is this in botanical gardens in Howrah, this tree which is spread almost in an acres, almost a kilometer, all around. So this tree keeps on spreading. All other religions say that there is a beginning and an end to this universe. In the beginning was God, and the Word was God, etc. in the Bible. And then it also says that a time will come when there will be the great floods and everyone will go, and then there will be the last day of judgment, and then the good go towards the right and the evil to the left, something like that. I don't want to go into those details. But in Hinduism, the universe is cyclic. It keeps on coming and going, just like the waves in the ocean. You stand at the seashore, you will see a great wave coming. It dies off, again another wave comes. Similarly, the whole universe, it comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. And it never ceases to exist. It never ceases to exist. Urdhvamulam adhashakam ashvatham prahuravyayam chandamsi. I think we will take up the next stanza. Chandamsi asya parnani yastam veda savedavid next Sunday, because that needs a little bit of explanation as well. Shantakaram bhujakashayanam padmanabham suresham vishwadharam gaganasadrisham meghavarnam shubhankam lakshmikantam kamalanayanam yogiridhyanagamyam vande vishnum bhavavayaharam sarvalokaikanaatham. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna.